Bardo. Bardo.
Boy the Heron.
God, today's topic: Boy and the Heron and Spirited Away.
If we can even talk about it extensively.
All right. Let's start with Boy and the Heron. Okay. So, Boy and the Heron is... Everyone's like, it's a masterpiece. Yes. And guess what? I don't care. I don't care. It's very well animated. The music is amazing. It is a beautiful thing to watch. It is boring. I fell asleep. It's a boring masterpiece. It's kind of.
It was. I remember I was in the theater and I was eating popcorn. I'm like, I'm eating loud because it was so quiet. I was like, are they not going to play any music in this?
Look,
I felt so self-conscious. I can't eat anything,
dude. I remember like watching and just going, this is such a beautifully drawn anime. It is so beautifully like done. Yeah. It looks amazing. I forgot the type of anime. It's called isekai. Yeah, it's called isekai anime. Where it's a range of characters where they get transported to like a new life. Yeah. Anyway, so it's an isekai anime where you get where the character gets brought into like a new world.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's interesting. It's just yeah. It's just interesting.
So I'll start with I like Robert Pattinson playing the Heron in the
my first mistake. I saw it in subs. I did not know I was going to the subs until I got
okay.
And so that was my first mistake.
Right.
I went.
Yeah, like I obviously the movie's about like grief because he loses his mom in a hospital fire or something like that, and he moves, and his dad gets with her sister or something like that. I think that's what it was.
Was it? Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So like it's about grief, which is a good topic to explore. And I think my issue with it is, and I know people are gonna like kind of disagree a little bit. I think with the Ghibli Miyazaki movies, at least with these two, it's like there's a lot of subtext and symbolism, and so like the whole narrative like isn't always noticeable.
Yeah.
And so it's like I felt like the overall plot of the story should have been more established before you got to the subtext and the symbolism. Because I feel like with a lot of his characters that are designed, I feel like they're supposed to mean something.
Yeah.
Like, that's why they look so goofy and crazy and stuff. Like, they're supposed to, like, symbolize something. But, like, I felt like they were so heavy on the subtext. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What is going on? So it's like... So like the whole worlds he was going to, I'm not. I went into that pillar or something out near their house, and then he's going to these different worlds, and I'm like, I'm not following what's happening.
Yeah,
and it got really, really confusing.
I think part of the problem was they could have went right into the tower after the mom died, and because you spent so much time, I almost. 40 minutes of runtime was before he even got into the tower. Yeah, and you're just like, what's happening? And they apparently part of the subtext was a part of the themes was that he was supposed to be retiring, and he came out of retirement to make this movie. And so, like, a lot of this movie was supposed to be symbolic to him.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
And it's him retiring and him being the old guy at the end who runs the tower. And so that's fine, but I wasn't thinking about that going in. I just wanted to see the story, and I felt like they spent too much. It was too much preamble. Before getting to the point.
It's like I felt like they did a good job getting the grief part and him trying to adjust to like his new life and stuff. And then when it got to the tower, I'm like, what the?
It's actually the funny part. The tower where that's actually true. The tower was kind of where I was like, oh, now you're kind of losing me. Like the beginning part, I was kind of okay. I get what's going on.
And let me correct something. I'm not like establishing the fantasy part of it. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, he should establish the fantasy part of it. Then you can like add the subtext and stuff. And I thought that would have worked better.
Yeah,
but I thought like try to be too clever. It was like too heavy on the cleverness, and I'm like, I got kind of confused.
Right, that's exactly. I mean, it was a little too clever by half, at least from my liking. Yeah. We're on the opposite end with Spirited Away, which we'll get to in a minute, but where I had less of a problem with it. They just jumped right into it. I feel like there was no reason for the events, but it's like, But I was happy they got right to it. It's like, okay,
right,
what's happening?
Exactly.
Oh, it's a bathhouse for spirits. Okay, and it's like I don't have to think because with this I was like, but the fire in the beginning, what's happening here? Oh, this is supposed to be the other world for him to handle the grief of his mom who died.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's right. His mom dies in the beginning, and in a fire, and then he goes off to with his dad to his stepmom, and she's pregnant, and so he's dealing with having to go to a new school. He
hit himself in the head.
And I was like what? To get out of going to school, and then there's this heron, which I hate the design.
It is a weird,
and so
weird design.
That's the part where I think where it lost me. Like, I don't need this creepy looking hair. He could have just stumbled his way there.
Yeah.
I mean, I got why he did it. Like,
and they were trying to make him friends, and I was like, I don't know if it works.
Yeah,
you know,
it didn't work.
I'm like, okay, like
it's not a bad movie. It's just I understand why people think it's a masterpiece, and I will give you that. But it's just not for me.
What I don't like with like shows and movies is when people say, "Oh, if you watch it again, it's gonna be a lot better, though."
Yeah.
And it's like I shouldn't have to like read essays and reviews and different things for me to like, enjoy the movie. It's like, well, if you just understand all these things, I'm like, why do I gotta understand? Why can't you do it right the first time?
I don't.
That's just my critique, because people say, oh, if you read all this stuff, it'll make a lot more sense, and you probably enjoy
I don't want extra homework.
Which is true. Yeah, I don't want I gotta read read all stuff before the movie, and it's like that's what drives me crazy about some of the takes about the movie. It's like, oh, if you just read all this and watch it again, it's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that. I will say I don't mind a rewatch because I will change my mind off of a rewatch. So I was really hoping that it was on video before we did this, because I do think I would have another opinion if we got to rewatch it. Because in the theater, I was just like,
I wish I was able to rewind in the theater.
Yeah, I wanted to rewind because I was like, wait, what just happened? It wasn't like, and the reason why I'm being a bit harder on it, because we just watched Spirited Away. This is my first time watching it, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, "Okay, I get it."
Yeah.
I have the isekai, or to me, it's also kind of like it's like a weird slice of life style anime. Yeah. I don't like them like that.
Right.
Things just happening, just cause I'm in a world. Oh, things are just happening. I'm not. As not my. I don't really enjoy those types of shows, right? Which is fine, but with Spirited Away, I was like, oh, it's cool. I get it.
Yeah, it kind of like got to the point. I'm like, okay, all right, okay.
I get a lot more people like it. I came in ready to start shooting at it. I was like, oh no, okay, it's fine. It's a good show. It's a good movie.
This Boy the Heron. I would have been fine with the first 40 minutes of like the quietness and like him adjusting. If it just didn't get so goofy with the
hate the.
It was just like
he has two speeds of his animations. The one where I'm like, oh my god, it's so beautiful, and then the one where I go, ew, why would you draw this? I was telling you earlier, and we'll talk about it when we get to the Spirited Away, but when Spirited Away, when the Yubaba came out, and her head, my Windsor, my daughter, was like, is this an anime? And I was like,
yeah.
And that's kind of what I get from those weird.
They get weird. It gets weird with.
I don't know what this thing with birds with flying birds with heads on them, with human heads on them. I don't like it. It's so.
It is a little crazy.
It takes me out. Like everything about how this anime was drawn was very nice. It's just that. No, I like the parakeet. So that stuff was really cool.
Yeah.
Like there's things that I like about the anime. Like all the parakeet thing I thought was hella funny. All right, with the parakeet king, whatever.
Oh yeah, Dave Bautista, the wrestler in Guardians of the Galaxy, he was the parakeet.
I'm gonna watch this movie again, but in English, I'm because even watching it with the subtitles was very funny.
Yeah.
I liked it. it was.
I like the when he went into the under like the water place and all the little, I forgot what they called, but they were going up to be born or something like that. I thought that was pretty cool. I like that scene a lot.
Yeah,
So there are things that I liked about it.
I like about it. I just think I think people are giving a big like it's that Studio Ghibli like cosign.
Yeah,
it's the director.
It means something. It's Studio Ghibli, so it has to be good. Or
right? Because I was just sitting there. Oh God, I'm committing a cardinal sin. What's the dude's name again?
Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah, Hayao Miyazaki. They're gonna kill me online.
Who that guy is? He's the best of all time.
But he is like been just shooting out bangers, right?
Yeah.
And like Princess Mononoke or whatever, fantastic movie. I'm gonna watch it again, but great movie. Spirited Away, my first time watching Spirited Away. I liked it. It was good. It was fun. It was fun. It was not my style, but or things that I would normally go for, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Yeah. This movie, man, I
was struggling with this one.
Yeah, but also to be forgiving, apparently it was his self-indulgent project. Like with my last two, I'm going to do what I want. So I kind of do. I get it, right? I do get it.
Yeah, you just want to do something for yourself if it's your last.
I get it, but I just was like, guys,
I was like, okay.
I was like, this was like, if I had to give it a grade, it's like a C. It was. There's so much to enjoy about it, but I think the parts are greater than the whole. To say anything backwards, I like the music. I love the animation, except for the heron, ugly. It was funny at parts. It was just overly long. It didn't get to the point. And by the time I got to the point, it's like, oh, it's a great meaning. It's like, oh, the mom isn't afraid of fire, right? It's what the young version of his mom said, right? Because just for the spoilers, people at the end, it's like he his mom is in this tower, if you enter this tower, I guess you find different versions of people that you might know in your past life or whatever. Yeah. And he finds a younger version of his mom who's kind of helping him get through it. And at one point, I guess the place is burning, and he's like, I'm not afraid of fire. And that's how the mom died, right? Yeah. And then when it gets to the end, when the tower is falling, and they're going back to their worlds, it's like she knows she's going back to where things are over. Yeah. But it's not like he meets his mom. He gets closure from the mom's death. I wanted to watch it again because there's some details that are still a bit fuzzy because I've even watched it in a couple of weeks. But
I felt like when I got to the old man, I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
Yeah.
I was like, do you want to be the leader of this? I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he gets to the old man who's the leader of the tower with all the stuff in it. The tower is basically a different world. And the old man runs this world. Yeah. And the boy was going to be the leader of the world because he falls in the bloodline.
Was that the grand uncle of
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got the connections you have to almost watch it twice to get all the connections. Yeah. But that was the grand uncle who built the tower or whatever. And then he says, no, I'm going back. All right. And the tower crumbles. And it's a way of him having closure. Yeah. And I get it all. It's very nice. Yeah. It's just overly long. Yeah. It's just like I honestly like, on an edit, like he needed like a Puff Daddy in there. Like, nah, take out the hi-hat. You know what I mean? Just take out some, and I guarantee you, I would have been like, yo, this is a banger. But it's too long. It's just too long, and I was like,
yeah, I was kind of checking out a little bit. Yeah, and it was just like, oh my God.
So yeah, that's my. Not bad. It's just
no. It's not bad. It was just like, you know what? When you just go in with Ghibli and Miyazaki, you just have high hopes for something.
It's a boring masterpiece. That's what it is. It's a boring masterpiece. It's very well done, very well shot, very well acted. It's the sequences are great. It is just overly long, and it's like get to the point. And I'm sorry. I'm going to get flamed online. I don't care. It's boring. It's really well done. It's a really well done, boring thing. It is a really well made Kia.
As I drive a Kia.
No, actually, no. It's honestly, it's a Porsche with no gas in it to me. It looks nice. Can't go anywhere. It's like, get somewhere. I'm like, I drive slow. Save this gas.
Just slow.
Anyways, the second thing, I guess, anything else you want to say about this?
No, I'm done.
I feel bad, but it's good.